Fli Mackie here with the Fli Mackie Show, and oh boy, I can't believe we get to do this. There's a lot going on in the market right now. Let's just hold on one second. We're going to go live here on TV. Okay, hold on. It's telling me something here. Yeah, boy. It says you're live. Well, we didn't mean to go live on social media. We don't have hardly any audience on social media, but we're going live on television and broadcast TV in Houston, Corpus Christi, College Station, Beaumont, Texas, Lake Charles, Louisiana, Denver, Colorado, and coming soon to Washington, D.C. Hold on one second, guys and gals. I am. Here we go. I'm pressing some buttons over here, and okay. And there you go. Cancel that. Oh, I know. I get it. There we go. Thank you. So the software is asking me some questions, but good morning. We have is on there. Do you want to fast forward anyway? I don't even know what that means. It's asking me a question here. Okay, yes. It is. Okay, let's put no. Okay, there you go. I think one of the engineers is following me around on the software. We're going to get to it in just a second, you guys. We're going to go live here in Houston, Denver. But before we do, they're asking me some questions here. No, we don't want to do that. Okay. I'm playing my own engineer this morning, and I'm not doing a very good job at it. Y'all hold tight. We're fixing to go live here in Denver, Colorado, Houston, Corpus Christi, College Station, Beaumont, Lake Charles, coming soon to Phoenix and Washington, D.C. We'll be live shortly there. Let's see what the software says on the TV network here. We got Hubert playing. I'm going to interrupt his show in just a second, but while we're doing that, okay, I want to look at, y'all hold tight with me because I want to share a chart with you here. And we're just, and hello, I want to share something with you because I want you to see what's going on here in the market shortly here. Hold on one second. There we go right there. And bam, there you go. Okay, so let's just take a quick look here. By the way, thank you for joining us. Those of you joining us, Fli Mackie here with Smart Money Culture TV. We're broadcasting live right now in Houston, Corpus Christi, College Station, Beaumont, Lake Charles, Louisiana. We have new channels coming up in Tallahassee, Fort wherever Mar-a-Lago is. Can't remember that DMA over there in Florida. Miami, Tallahassee. Let's see, Phoenix. We're already live in Denver. Hello, good morning, Denver, Colorado, and Washington, D.C. And if everything goes right, we should be in 56 other cities, including New York City. Let's see, New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta. Can't wait to go to Phoenix because we have a home on the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Reservation or community where I've been living for many, many years and love it out there. So, and my good friend Jerry help me buy a channel there in Montana. I want to be up there. If you haven't visited Montana, Rocky Boy Indian Reservation is a great place to go. So let's take a look at this chart real quick, okay? So this what's going on here with Bitcoin, USDT pair, and you see how this is amazing because all the charts look the same. And you have we're not giving out any financial advice. I just want you to look at the charts and the direction at where this is going because this is all orchestrated. Like this is not happening by chance. The big institutional buyers and sellers, which I call the big boys and the big girls, and then the whales, the crypto whales, you know, they're doing this all by plan. It's all design. And you can see here because people say, oh my gosh, look at that. But if you look here, hold on, hold tight for just a second here. Hold tight. Just want to make sure you see this. You see down here, over here, back in October of last year, you know, it was at 59,000. Just look at the gain that it's had. So it's okay that it comes down. I mean, if you follow this through all the way out, you know, from 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, then you see that it's just massive uptick on Bitcoin there. But this is where it's traveling now. And let's take a look at another angle at it. This is right here's the Dixie. Now, the DXY, by the way, you notice the pattern here? You notice the pattern in the DXY? Look at this. Same pattern as you're getting over here. Same pattern. Same pattern. This is BT. This is Bitcoin paired with the US dollar. See, same pattern. See, we still have an uptick on this. It's just phenomenal what Bitcoin has done. Let's go one more over. And this is XRP. You see XRP here. XRP, same pattern. Matter of fact, you could take this one and go like that if you really wanted to. You could take this from like that. You could go like this, and that would be from February. The better charting would be like this right here. That would be the better charting all the way back to January 19th. And so, but you see the pattern, right? All the same. Let's go over here and look at the NASDAQ. You see the NASDAQ, and look at this. Is this amazing or what? So one of the guys who, Christopher Inc.'s coming onto our network, and one of the things he says all the time, which I live by, the only thing you control in the market is how much you lose. So you have, if you're actively trading, by the way, this is not advice, but I'm just talking to you. If you're actively trading, you know, you're paying attention, and really the only, what you really have control of, because you don't have control of the whales, you don't have control of, compulsive buying and selling, but you do have control of how much you lose, especially if you have a strategy when you're actively trading. So, be careful. And you get a lot of these experts out there, and great advice from these guys is if you're a long-term investor, which means you're buying something and, you're letting it set for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you're not even looking at this anyway. So when you hear the news, let me come back over here. When you hear the news and you hear people talking and saying, hey, the American public is wondering. No, the American public isn't wondering. The American public's not even paying attention to this stuff. Now, there's a bubble, and the bubble pays attention to it. It makes great news. It makes great TV. But anyway, you look at this is so cool. Look at this. All all the way back to December of 2022. So you look at 3 years. Look at the scale of how this is scaled up. So yeah, it's retreating a little bit, and this is just a repositioning of the whales, the institutional buyers and sellers, just taking advantage. They're taking their profits, which they absolutely have the right to do. And but anyway, not giving any advice, just showing you the direction that this is going right here. This is a day chart here of the NASDAQ. And it's pretty cool to watch, because this thing is gone. I mean, let's take a look at this right here. See this right here? Look at all the way back from March of 2020. And you see, this is when it started now it goes further back, but let's just stop right here where it started making its ascension up. And then they took their profits. See this, how they took their profits here. They took their profits here. They took their profits here, 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 a little bit there, but they're taking more of their profits right here. And you got to understand something, those of you out there. Let's get back to my screen over here. The one thing that you want to know is that, hi babe, I got my German Shepherd over here. Capone and Blue are behind me. There's my girl Amber over there. So, this is all orchestrated when you have 96% of the markets that's owned by 6 to 8% of all the investors. What does that tell you? That tells you this is all orchestrated, and it's a great orchestration. You guys, if you follow this, if you look back here, where it started its ascension up over here a couple of years ago, and it just keeps going up and up and up. And the great thing about these markets is that, like my dad used to say, you buy it and forget about it. Buy it and forget about it. But it's a lot of fun to watch it. That's for sure. I want to take a look at the DXY here, because the DXY is always, so it's a weighted basket, as you guys know. We do a whole series of this on TV. If you guys are in Houston or a Texas market or Denver coming to Washington, D.C., you can watch our series on TV. Sooner or later, we're going to post them on our website, but we're not doing any digital marketing right now. Not really, but that's coming. But you see here how it's been in this pattern right here, the same pattern that you're going to find right over here. Hold on one second. The same pattern. Bam, there you go right there. Same pattern you see on Bitcoin here. You see that? Bam, look at that. It's that same pattern. So, and one of the things too for you guys who, and then we're going to end the segment here and go back to our broadcast television. The one thing that I've noticed and something to pay attention to is the DXY and Bitcoin for the first cycle, as far as I can tell, ever are leading in the same direction. Typically, they'll go in the same direction, but when you have a trend where the DXY, the Dixie, which is weighted against, so people will take money out of the Dixie or out of the stock market, and they'll leverage it over into some crypto. That's why crypto has the $2 trillion market cap and growing. Before the next year or so, it ought to be up to 3 trillion or more. But once again, it's a hedge, but now they're starting to follow in the same direction. So that's something to look at. And what does that mean? Well, it could mean a lot of things. Adoption. It could mean that they're using that as an alternative in their portfolios. Could be. So instead of hedging against, now it could be that they're hedging together. Let's just take a look at this one more time, and then we're going to get out of here. There's XRP, which is the same. See this? Same direction. Here is the Dixie. Same direction. Here's Bitcoin. Ooh, I love this. This is a 4-hour chart. But 4-hour chart on Bitcoin, same direction. And then, of course, you're looking at the NASDAQ. Here, same direction, same direction. See that? This is exciting stuff. We're going to come back later with the show later today. You've been watching the Fli Mackie show here on Smart Money Culture TV. Y'all have a great morning, and we'll see you later this afternoon.